Hello, class. Today, I'm going to be teaching you about how Jackie Chan single-handedly changed the action movie industry. I'm going to begin by discussing his life, his early life, his upbringing, and continue into how he changed the industry. So let's get started. So Jackie Chan was born in the early 1950s to immigrant parents inside of the French Foreign Embassy in Hong Kong. They gave him the nickname Cannonball because he was 10 pounds when he was born. Hefty little child. About the age of 7 years old, though, his parents no longer able to afford to house him there inside of the embassy. They, in a sense, gave him up to adoption to this program called the Peking Opera School in Hong Kong. So Peking Opera is a form of opera very popular in China. It involves a lot of singing, facial expressions, acrobatics, and at times martial arts. And so what they'll do is they'll get these kids from a very young age and train them in all these things. And in exchange, these kids will perform in the Peking Opera, in opera houses, which was a time-honored tradition in China at the time. And Jackie Chan was one of these kids. So from a young age, he was already being put to be trained in acrobatics, in singing, in being dramatic and expressive, and martial arts. And so this was his life for up until he was about 17 years old. But as he was getting older, Peking Opera was slowly becoming phased out. It was becoming an older thing in Chinese society at the time. Fewer people were going to see Peking Opera. And so instead of them working in these Peking Opera houses, what the master of the house would do was he would take all these kids and he'd actually put them in extras in Hong Kong films. So the early days of Hong Kong action films were like Bruce Lee, for example, who really ran the show there for a long time. And everyone wanted to be like Bruce Lee. All the extras wanted to be Bruce Lee. There were a bunch of Bruce Lee imitations. And each action film followed roughly the same plot. This is the early 1970s when Bruce Lee really had hold. Jackie Chan even worked as an extra in a couple of these films that were either the Bruce Lee lookalikes or in Bruce Lee films himself. And but Jackie Chan even then knew that he wanted to do something different than continue making the same film that was being made over and over and over again. And, he stuck around in the industry being a stunt double, extra, a stunt man, getting kicked through houses, punched, abused on set, whatever it was they needed. But it didn't pay all that well, especially since he was just background work. So by this time, his parents had actually moved to Australia. And at the age of 21, they said, hey, Jackie Chan, if you really want to, get work here, we have work for you in Australia. And so he gave up on his dreams for a little bit and went to work as a construction worker in Australia. And he really thought that was it. That was the end of his career in film, in the industry there. And in the construction site is actually where he earned the name Jackie. The construction workers affectionately called him Little Jack, which then got turned to Jackie, which he took on as his moniker when he made it in the industry. He became Jackie Chan. But while he was in Australia, he actually got a call from one of the big producers called Shaw Brothers Company at the time. And they said, hey, Jackie Chan, we would love to work with you, actually. We've seen some of the background work you've done, and we think you have the potential to become a star. Exactly. They said, you know what, we're going to give you the golden ticket here. And they essentially did. He went back to Hong Kong, made his first film, and people loved it. They went crazy for it. It was called Snake and Eagle's Shadow. I believe it came out in 1978. And quickly, he became an overnight star in Hong Kong. Everywhere he went, crowds of people would follow him. He was well known throughout Asia. And for a long time, he dominated Asian action cinema. The thing was, the United States and the Western cinema still had not completely adopted these famous superstars, megastars really, in Asia inside of their American industry. So Jackie Chan tried to break into the American industry 1-2 times throughout the 80s, but it never worked. But the thing was, the major action stars in the United States, such as Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger, were actually pulling from his films and taking literal whole scenes and being like, we liked what he did there, we're just going to put that into our movie. But the thing was, Jackie Chan is known for doing his own stunts, which was what made his film so excellent, is that you could see that he was really the man doing all of the work here. All the acting, the stunt work, the martial arts, whatever it was, Jackie Chan was at the forefront doing it. And eventually, by the mid-90s, he had broken into mainstream media in the Western world with his film Rumble in the Bronx. It came out in 1995, depicting him moving as an immigrant to help his uncle in their restaurant. And people loved it. It was incredibly action-packed. It was based in a city. And from there, Jackie Chan has continued to make numerous different films in Western industry as well. And the thing that he changed is that when he hopped into the media, not doing the same Bruce Lee, I'm going to get revenge for my master film that had been made, but instead turned martial arts into something that was also comedic and enjoyable, it brought a whole new level to what could be done through both action and comedy. And now Jackie Chan can be seen acting in all kinds of different films, from whether they're dramas to even musicals he's worked in, and he has continued to affect the media up until this day. And so yeah, if you've seen an action movie that you've thoroughly enjoyed and you see either good stunt work, you see good action, you see comedy within the action, Jackie Chan was the one that pioneered all of these and made it possible for people to do them well. Yeah, so that's my spiel on Jackie Chan. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. I hope you feel informed. Yeah.